Hello, y'all on YouTube. This is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing. Something coming in from BladeBinge. This is part of the Apex group that I'm part of. And yeah, we got a pretty cool knife we're going to take a look at. All right, today I'm opening up my box with my TW Price Design Rain knife. This is the larger version that he came out with. Really enjoyed this one. I have the Damascus clip with the Damascus backspacer. Really cool. So let's get into this box. It's going to be pretty easy to open, I think. Just that, and I'm in. Okay. All right, I don't think we have a case, so there we go. I don't know if this is a prototype or what, but first impressions, first, idea of what we have here. All right, so don't remember the name of this knife. Not even a box or anything, right? No. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this. It's supposed to be a little more premium. Got a titanium clip. All this is titanium, I'm assuming. Yep. You got a pivot, one captive pivot on one side. It's a flipper. We've got some thumb studs. All right. Reversible pocket clip. Lanyard loop in the back, nice and rounded. Looks like a front flipper. So we've got at least 3 different possible deployments, maybe a bonus 4th right here. So yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's try these thumb studs or whatever that. This is Damascus, so Damascus thumb studs. Okay, interesting. All right, carbon fiber inlays, speed holes there. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, there we go. A nice full blade. Let me get my cloth here. Wipe that off. There's a little bit of oil on there, which is cool. Keeps it nice and clean. Nice sharp blade, beautiful drop point. I got a little swedge on top. I like the profile though. All right, let's see how this fits in hand. I got big, large hands with big, meaty fingers. So this would be equivalent to an extra large hand with regular size fingers, double extra large hands with thinner fingers. So not bad. Got some jimping up here. It's there. It's there. It's not really grippy at all, but you know, nice flat spot with the Damascus thumb stud, so that's nice. All right. Any sharp edges anywhere? Nope. Feels like it's okay in there. All right. So let's see here. No cutaway. We do have chamfering in here. Let's feel how strong is this lock bar. Okay. All right. It's drop shutty. Let's do the reverse flick. Where do we clear the detent ball? Oh, is it right there? Is it right there on the very top? Oh my gosh, it is. Okay. So I've cleared the detent right there. And at this point, it should be able to drop. Okay, all right, here's a front flipper. Now let's see. Ooh, okay, so you got to clear the flipper back here. So make sure you give a little room. Oh, okay. It's not real easy to get to. You have to have just a right spot. So you go a little high, it's a little tight, okay? And you got to make sure you don't catch right here because I'm pinching myself. Well, let's try the flipper. Okay, all right. Is it a push button? Let's try that. Okay, not a push button. It's definitely a light switch. Push button, I don't know if that's because the detent or what have you, but it's definitely not. It's really ooh. You can't put any pressure on the lock bar. That's a bummer. All right, so if you put any pressure on the lock bar, yeah, I can't deploy it. If my finger's on there, it's stuck. Nothing's going to get free. I can't break it. As soon as I move the finger, it opens. Okay, so that's unfortunate. That is kind of unfortunate. You know, you really wish that wasn't going to kill it. Yeah, even with my thumbs. So because it's such a huge lock bar, and I got fingers, I'm going to cover it up. As soon as I put my finger there, I'm locking it in. Yeah, I'm already locking it. And so if I happen to hold this tight, again, I'm stuck. It doesn't work. And I have to use the thumb studs, which, okay, they don't really work on the left side. They're a little awkward to get to, not the right angle. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try to do the reverse flick. Okay, no reverse flick. Can I do the front flip? Okay. No, this is not very good. Okay. With a left hand. All right. So you have to Okay, no, don't even touch it. So let me see if I can make sure I do this. All right, so this is very delicate. First impressions are not 100% positive. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be honest here. It's got potential. It's got some aesthetics that I like, but yeah, can't really get to it. Maybe this is meant for itty bitty hands or something. And if you have anything bigger than a medium-sized hand, this might not work. I don't know. I'm trying to think if maybe the design is meant for like super small hands or something. But yeah, I can't reverse flick this. Can I go high and reverse flick it? No, I still hit the flipper tab. Yeah, that's awkward. Okay, is there any way for me to get up there? No, it's. Can you do this? Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I can get in there. No. I'm trying. Yeah, it's awkward. You got to hit just right on that knuckle. Ooh, and it rips your finger out. That's not cool. All right. Let's try that again. Let's see if I can completely touch. Can I do a push button? You can, but you hit your finger. The push button doesn't work every time because I hit with that flipper. Let's try it again. Yeah, so the push button is no-go, right? You really need to do the flipper on this thing. So, okay, and if you do the flipper, you've got to really hit the top. You got to get the very top and hit it just. Okay. That's interesting. All right. I really bothered that I can't reverse flick. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. If I get it just right. There we go. You got to figure the exact spot. Got to make sure my finger's not in the way. Okay. Well, that's really hard. Ow. Ow. Yeah, so it's not conducive to where your hand wants to go. I have to force it to go out. So, ooh. Wow. Interesting. It's different. I mean, it's got some potential aesthetics, but man, wow. Everything I know right now, I would never buy this knife. I'll just be straight up with you right now. I mean, I don't know if I'm doing a review. This might be my review impressions. I'm really starting to think that I'm going to have enough here to make my decision, and I don't need to spend any more time on the knife. Okay, so before we go, I'm going to get some information, try to figure out who's a knife maker and what have you. I don't know. All right, so this is the Dreamtech D9610. It says it's M390 blade steel, so this is supposed to be a premium knife. The only thing I could find on this knife was if it had a Damascus blade steel or if it had Damascus inlays. And this has neither. And those knives on the site were listing it like around $400, but then I go around and I looked at Damascus, the one that was listed for $400 is now listed for $200 a lot of USA retail sites. So I don't really know what this is going to cost. I was told that this was probably a $400 knife, honestly. I don't know what the price is. I don't have a link. If I get it, it'll be linked down below. It may not be. I almost feel like this is going to be... This is one of these things where I do this thing, and I'm not even sure it's worth dropping the unboxing and review. I've got to be straight up with you. I think it's about a $120 knife at best, maybe a $140 knife at best. Maybe the Damascus might make it $140. I don't know. I would not pay more than $150 for this knife, ever. If it does list for $300-$400, I would say don't buy it for sure. So I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's my experience. It's not positive. It is what it is. So this is supposed to be M390. I have no idea if these are caged bearings. I can't tell. I have no idea. It is some sort of Damascus clips, and this Damascus that I did is the very minimal anodizing that you would do. You'd heat it just to where it sort of changes the color. There's no color here whatsoever. So this is what I do if I wanted to just do the very least amount of fire on there. And then that's what you get. I know that because I've been doing some clips and re-anodizing them. And if they spend a little more time, it might actually look a little nicer, I think. That would be my one suggestion for that. The clip is a little stiff. Doesn't have a lot of flexibility. I mean, it's swappable. It's a little rough right there. It's pretty centered. So the flipper, like I said, is it's not very functional. The thumb stud sort of works for my left hand, but it is a small knife. So I don't know if this is just a really crazy small knife. Carbon fiber inlay. All right, so let's go ahead and get a measurement on this guy. I don't know, 3.5 ounces, 3.1 ounces. So there you go, 3.1 ounces. Interesting. All right. Let's go ahead and get a measurement on this guy. Seven and 3/8 of an inch. If you go from the very basic back part, the actual handle area where you can get your hands is going to be probably about 3 and maybe 9/16, maybe. So it's not even full 4 inches. The blade itself goes 3 1/4. The actual cutting length is just 3 and 1/16 of an inch. So there's that. Let's look at the blade stock thickness. Oh, I was in millimeters because we were measuring some technical stuff. All right, so let's see, what is the actual 126 thousandths of an inch? All right, there you go. It's not super thick, not super thin. Reversible clip. Opening, closing. It's got multiple deployments, and I think you need them all depending on how you try to open. It's a little stiff, sharp right there. Not a whole lot of cutout. I wish they'd have a little cutout there as well. Don't dig the hole in the flipper. I think it's ugly. Don't know the screws. These might all be T8s, I'm going to guess. So we can kind of double check that since this is technically the unboxing and the review together, because that's all I'm doing. Yeah, T8s. All right, there you go. This might be a T6 on the clip, though. Yeah, T6 back there. Are these T6s? Yep. T6s on the carbon inlays. Okay, there you go. All right, so this is the... Oh, gosh. I cannot remember the name of this knife. There's no... You send a knife out, no box, no billboarding, no information, nothing, no website anywhere. It's not the way you start off. I mean, I don't even know if they're for sale yet. I mean, I would treat this like a prototype, but I see it on sale at stores. So I hope this is not how you get it, in just a little Ziploc bag with nothing. It's called a Dreamtech. Apparently they have 3 different lines, the Feng Hua, and then they have Feng Hua. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, because I think it's Hua. Like, I've heard that pronounced when I was in Shenzhen, so I'm guessing it's Feng Hua, like that. And then the other one, what did they say? Win plus budget. And the Feng Hua is a premium sort of version. This is supposed to be their medium line. Yeah. I don't know about that. All right. We talked about the measurements. I don't know what the price is. I see different prices. There's no M390 carbon fiber listed anywhere. Everything that they have for sale is either Damascus blade steel or Damascus inlay. So this could be between $200 and $300. I have no idea. It's the best guess. I think this puts it into right at the regular knife, $100 to $300 range. I hope it's not over $300. If it is, way overpriced. Way overpriced. I will tell you, I think this is a $130 to $140 knife. More than $150, it's too much. Even then, I'm not even sure if it's worth $150 to be deadly. I mean, to be very honest with you guys, my opinion. Very frustrating. Is it EDC hard use? I wouldn't use it. Honestly, it's really uncomfortable to flip. It feels almost dangerous. I would not own this knife. I would not buy this knife for anybody. I would not share it with anybody. I would not EDC use it. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know if you could hard use it. I don't know. I really don't know anything about the company. I will tell you the angle on the lock bar. It apparently feels like that. There's no steel bar insert over travel stop, so it's titanium. I'm assuming this is carbonized. So it's titanium on steel. You can feel a little bit of lock stick right there. So I don't know how that's going to work its way out when the carbonization wears off there, because that's how you keep it from lock sticking. And yeah, so interesting. It's uncomfortable for the lock bar to disengage it on the tang of the blade. It's is it a collection piece? Absolutely not. Overall feeling, what did I think about it? It looks pretty. It has potential to look pretty. I think a lot of the ergonomics need to be fixed. I don't like the flipper. It's not a push button. It's a light switch only. It's the only way that works. You have to be careful not to put any pressure whatsoever on that lock bar. And you don't have a lot of room, so you got to have really thin fingers. You can't have big, meaty fingers. So this is not meant for larger hands or anything bigger than a medium-sized hand, I think. And anybody who's got any thicker fingers, you got to have really thin fingers, medium-sized hands, I think, at best for this knife. Quite frankly, if this interests you so much and you find it as a good sale and you still want to buy it, that would be my recommendation. A little bit of pressure and you can't get past that. It doesn't really flip this way. You have one spot and I've got to get exactly where it is. If I miss it, it's going to rip the snot out of my knuckle. I've already gotten some wear. You can already see the skin coming off, which is uncomfortable, which means that this knife I don't want to flip it anymore. The thumb studs are cool concept. I don't like how they work. I also don't like the minimalistic anodization they did on the Damascus. It's really understated. I mean, it's sad because it's like you have potential for some beautiful colors here. If I owned this knife, I would take these off and I would redo them. I would re-anodize them myself, because this is like, I don't know, it's like having a beautiful Corvette body and you put primer on and you never put a beautiful gloss of paint, like a red or blue or white pearlescence kind of nice paint with a finisher. You don't do any of that. And that's what I feel like it is. So to me, it's like, if this is all you're going to do for the anodization, why even do it? It's M390. I know nothing about the company. I know nothing about the heat treat. I'm not going to test it. I'm not going to hard use it. I'm not going to do anything because I'm done. I'm done with the knife. So I can't speak to whether it's even worth that. I will tell you that I would never buy it and have this in my collection, so it doesn't really matter to me. I don't know anything about the company. I have no information. It's hard for me to even make a judgment call on this. The carbon fiber inlay has some potential. It's nice. It looks potentially nice. I mean, it's got a big old pivot collar. I'm not a big fan of the giant pivot collar. Big old billboarding there. I think that's a little too much. It's not too bad over here. You see M390, and then you see the D9610. I guess that's the part number. The clip looks like it's a little stiff. It doesn't really have flexibility. I was noticing that. The closing, it does clear the dent pretty quick, but it's definitely a shake shut. So there is that. doing the flipper, if you hit it just right, like when I come over here, if I don't know exactly that I have to hit that spot right there to be able to get it, I'm gonna miss it and it starts to rip on my finger. So I don't enjoy that. It's not pleasurable, not at all. The thumb studs reverse, I'm getting used to it because I kind of know where I've got to put my hand. It's not natural. If I put my hand naturally where I want to, it's not as comfortable, right? And I can already start feeling it getting a little sticky here. And I've done nothing to the knife, so that just tells me it's probably going to get stickier. Because there's no steel bar insert over travel stop, which is unfortunate. At this price, if it's supposed to be $300-400, I would expect a lot more. I really would. This cutout part here makes it look cheap, I think. The jimping stops short down here at the edge, so you're going to slip off. That's unfortunate. It's got a little texture here, but that doesn't really add a whole lot. There's nothing here that tells me this is a $400 knife. There's nothing here that tells me it's over $300. There's nothing that tells me it's even a $200 knife at all. This is, at best, a $150 knife. And I say that because if I find out, and I have a link, and I finally know what the price is, I'm going to tell you, don't pay more. It's not worth more than $150. But even then, you've got to really like the design so much that besides everything else here, you're going to want to get it. I don't. Fidget factor. Well, this potentially should have like a 9 fidget factor. It should, because you've got thumb studs, you've got the flipper, you've got the front flipper, and I think, yeah, this should be bonus flick, but there's no access to that. No access to it. So that's maybe an 8 out of 10. That's what it should be, right? So what's the score on this? I've never done this. I'm going to give it a 50. It's a fail. It's a 50. It's a 50. I cannot pass this. It's a 50. I'm sorry. So it fails. Is it recommended? Absolutely not. Not at all. Not 0%. I'm not recommending this. I'm sorry. I do not recommend this. It feels like a bad prototype that needs 3 or 4 more iterations before it should have been dropped. That's the truth. I was really excited when I saw it. I thought it had a lot of potential. For a $150 knife, it's not worth it. It's got so many flaws. Even if this was a $90 knife, it's still not worth it. It's just too uncomfortable. It's just not pleasurable at all to use. Kubi, Bestech, Kaiser, Concept, Vosteed, every one of those people do a better knife for significantly less. This is not a premium knife. This is not even a mid-range knife at all. So there you go. My first really gregarious, strong negative review. If any of you guys own this, have any thoughts on it, let me know. Maybe I got an extreme dud, an extreme defective one. I don't think so. But I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I don't like doing reviews like this. I don't like doing reviews like this. I really have more. I mean, I've seen newer companies come out with their first swing at knives, and they, quite frankly, are 10,000% better. I don't like this. So yeah, I recommend against it. I'm not even sure what it's called. I'm not even sure the part number. I think it's just the Dreamtech D9610. That's what they call it. There's no name for the knife. It's a Dreamtech, the D9610. No name. Which is probably apropos, because you put a name on there and then people know what it is. So you put a number on there, you can go ahead and do a 9620 and pretend that 9610 didn't happen, I guess. They need a 9620, maybe a 9630. There's a lot of things. So here's the thing. If you want to know what would they need to fix, the thumb studs don't work. They're positioned poorly. There's not good leverage. I'm sort of figuring it out, but I really have to move my hand. If I naturally get this and I want to do this, it's not natural. If I want to get this down here, it's not natural to down here. The flipper gets in the way of opening. The flipper is way below the pivot. It doesn't really have good leverage. You can only do the light switch. Any minimal amount of pressure on that lock bar, you can't open it. Like I've had to release that just to break that. And if I put any pressure, it's locked in place. And your finger slides off, you're going to have an uncomfortable finger. The front flipper, it's pointless. It's so close here. It's so small. You have to have a perfect spot. And if See? And if my finger's here, I stop it from, it doesn't work. It's not good. That's not good, right? So the flipper, the front flipper, and the thumb studs all need to be fixed. That's an absolute given. The reverse flick here is really difficult as well. There is some weight relief, minimal. Carbon fiber looks nice. I think that has some potential. A lot of if you're going to do T8s, do T8s. Don't mix them so much. T6 and then T8s. That to me is, I don't know. That's a bummer. The back spacer. The clip is a little stiff. I wish that wasn't. I don't like the hole in the flipper. Makes it look cheap, quite frankly. It really does. Bead blasted also is a kind of a cheap looking thing. Doesn't make it look premium. I'm told this is supposed to be a $400 knife. It is not. It is not. You would need much more, significantly more texture, more amenities, less screws, less hardware for that to even potentially be that. And this anodization done on these thumb studs is the bare minimum. Man, anodize it for at least another minute. Get the blues, the beautiful blues out of there. This is the very beginning you get. It feels like a miss. You have some nice material that you didn't take advantage of, and that's a bummer. That's a serious bummer. It's a pretty thick edge. I can't tell if this is hollow ground. I don't know. I think it's flat ground. If it's a hollow grind, it's so minimalistic you can't tell. Comes to a thick top, it should be a full flat grind or hollow grind. I think the big pivot is not my cup of tea. The large lock bar is too big. You need to shrink that. You need to make it smaller. Big old thumbs like me, I'm going to get right on there and it just becomes useless. So those are my recommendations for this knife, a complete overhaul. I don't know if they'll take that. I don't know if I'll ever, if they ever take off and become a really successful company, I'll probably never get to review one of their knives unless I buy it, which is fine. I'm just being honest with you. This first release was, I mean, if they get better, that's awesome. That's super awesome. But this is not that. So there you go. Just trying to be honest with you guys. I've never done such a negative review before. I hate doing that. But I'm being honest. All right, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, informative, entertaining, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button down below? Subscribing and liking the channel and the videos really helps me out. Allows me to produce more content, do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who's part of the community, who enjoys the content. Thank you. Thank you to every one of you guys. If you haven't already, hit that notification button down below as well so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to all my channel members out there. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so very much. You guys do two things for me. One, you are a big motivator. You encourage me when I need encouragement. I don't do this full-time. I'm a part-time guy. I have a full-time job. So I appreciate you like a workout buddy. You keep me going. You really do. As far as the other thing you do is you're so generous with the memberships, and it really, really does allow me to check out a lot of things. To be part of these pass-arounds when I got to spend money on shipping this knife to the next guy, and I fully anticipate this video not getting a whole lot of views. I really do. I fully anticipate this video not getting a lot of views. So there you go. Sorry, I'm just really distracted by this. I'm just very disappointed. I feel like I should have known better. Anyways, so I do two things for you guys. All channel members, you are eligible for the once a month members giveaway. So if you're a channel member, once a month I do a members giveaway. It's usually a nicer knife than just a budget banger, definitely over $100. It would be a nicer knife, hopefully something you would enjoy receiving or giving away. So that's my one way to say thank you. The other thing is, as a new channel member, being currently a new channel member, I'd like to mail you a channel sticker and a little thank you note for being a channel member. It's my way to say thank you. That kind of applies to anybody who's currently a member for whatever reason. You've been a member all along, or you were a member and became a member again. As long as you've never gotten a channel sticker, never requested it, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker, a way for me to say thank you. All right, that's it. That's my review. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.